It's time to save this hurt this days. Put on your cape and learn the phrase. It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK. Woke up this morning, went outside, the sun was shining. That put a smile on my face. It's not shining where you are, I apologize, but it is here. And then I pulled up the Bitcoin price and I was like, oh, happy day, oh, happy day. You know what? Let's bring the choir in. So much to talk about in so little time. If you're liking the content, please remember to like and subscribe, and let's dive right in. All right, to start out today, we are going to be on the S&P 500 or the SPX 4-hour chart. Now, I mentioned on Friday that we were in this potential rising little channel right below some major moving averages. This is the, so on the 4-hour chart, this yellow moving average is the 200 simple moving average. Now, we'd already broken and retested the EMA, the exponential, which just puts a little more weight on recent price action. But this yellow one is the simple, right? Well, today we broke up through that, but we are at this next zone of resistance, where previously inside of this larger falling wedge, it double topped right here, you can see. Price actually came up, got rejected, came up, got rejected, and then, had a pretty big pullback. So we're kind of going to have to wait and see tomorrow what the S&P or SPX does with this zone. Is it going to have a little bit of a retrace, maybe come back to the top or bottom of my red zone, just kind of confirm that as support now? Or do we just break up, retest, and push higher? Now, we do know Bitcoin's highly correlated with the SPX. That's why we do cover it every day on the channel. And so there's some pullback ideas, especially, like I said, where this previously did act as resistance back here in early February and again in mid-February. And so we'll just keep an eye on the SPX. Now, just keep in mind that right now things are pretty bullish and have been. So, of course, a pullback would be healthy. Doesn't mean we'll get it, but if we do, what we really just want to see is it come back, flip, an area like this down here as support. And any pullback that we get like that could represent, a good buying opportunity as it relates to Bitcoin. So now we're going to zoom into the Bitcoin 1-hour chart. Now I said buying Bitcoin, but really I'm more interested in trading altcoins. But as we know, the S&P 500 is kind of the driver right now for Bitcoin in most cases. And we all know Bitcoin is the driver for altcoins, right? So more or less we have to track Bitcoin to have an idea of when is the best time to buy or sell our altcoins. So this is the Bitcoin 1-hour chart. We've been tracking this for the last few days as well. Now we had this large rising channel or wedge that we were discussing. And these from a statistical standpoint have a 68% chance of breaking to the downside, right? But often if the patterns break the opposite way that they're supposed to, you get parabolic price action. Well, that's kind of what happened here, right? It broke out at the top of this and it pushed all the way from, the mid 44K, 44.5, and all the way up to 47.5, right? And now, if we zoom in a little bit further, let's go to like a 15-minute chart. Let's do that. Okay, so now on the 15-minute chart, you can see we're in this another potential rising channel, which again, 68% chance. The odds say this pattern is supposed to break to the downside. Now, we've been so bullish lately that things have been kind of going the opposite of what is traditional or what you would expect from a statistical standpoint. But coupled with the S&P 500 being at that resistance, maybe this one is the one that's different. Now, again, if it breaks to the upside, parabolic price action again, that's probably where we definitely would test 50K. And that's definitely a possibility. You could set an alert right here at around, 48K. And if we break, above that, especially if we break above this wedge, retest and start heading higher, then I expect 50 to 51K in a hurry, right? But what could also make sense or even more sense would be that this breaks to the downside. And this last parabolic move started right here at about 44.8K, right? If we take that to the top using our fib retracement tool, a retrace that could make sense if this breaks to the downside. Now the measured move for this is just going to be a lot smaller, right? Like something around, let's say it breaks down, sooner than later, maybe around here. Measure move's just going to be back to the mid 46.8K, 46,800, something like that. But if it breaks down, I'd expect us to more respect the fib levels. And the golden pocket, which coincidentally, if you look back here where this pumped up and then bounced right here, this is the bottom of the golden pocket for that last move. That's just going from the last swing low to swing high, right? Swing low down here to swing high. The golden pocket is the 0.618 to 0.65. And that falls right now between about 45,000, basically 46K. So it would make sense for us to potentially come back and retest that. Now, this is also a parabolic pump. And one thing we know in crypto or stocks is that often if something has a parabolic move to the upside, it can retrace as far as to the 786. So this level down here is super common. So what I'd be looking for my, if this does break down as far as the next good opportunity to, long some altcoins, would be first the golden pocket, right, around 46K, or the 786, which is around about 45,500. And now keep in mind, there's always going to be a potential that if we do break down, that there's wicks that go lower. I really feel like we probably need to retest 45K at some point, or even like 44,800. So even though the 786 or the 618 golden pocket or the 786, could make some sense, a wick clear down to like 44.8 or 45K is also something that I would keep an eye out if this rising channel breaks down. Now, keep in mind, if you wanted to short this thing, like if you're a person that uses leverage, not financial advice, and I'm not going to teach you that on my channel, but if you do use leverage, what you'd want to see first is for this to break down with volume and then bearishly retest, somewhere up here around 47,700, 47,600, something like that. And then you could ride that down potentially to this golden pocket zone. All right, and then today, as far as my altcoins go that I'm watching, I'm going to mix it up just a bit. I don't normally go over anything to do with news. I'll mention that I follow coins that have news, but I won't necessarily go too much into the news or partnerships or anything like that. But I have two coins that I'm watching closely right now, one of which I've been a fan of for quite some time. I have a lot of friends that are fundamental junkies that have told me the fundamentals of this project are really good. Now, this is XCUR, Curate. And I believe what it's basically used for is to mint NFT projects or, NFTs, not projects, but NFTs, gasless, which just means free. So it's an app that you can use to mint an NFT, your non-fungible token or your art that you made, and it doesn't cost you anything, right? And so that already is really cool to me. And this is a tweet that XCUR Curate put out today that says something big is coming for Team XCUR, right? And it's been rumored that they're going to partner with Soul or Phantasma. So this is the other coin I'll be tracking. So Soul is S-O-U-L. Now this is a gaming metaverse play. Let me see if I can find their website. I had it pulled up. Here we go. So, I'm not going to go too much into what they exactly do or what they offer, but, you just look at their webpage and it looks pretty cool. I know it's a metaverse play, so you have this whole world, meta world of theirs. I don't know what they call it, Phantasma Land probably or something. But at any rate, we're going to dive into the charts and kind of what I'm looking for on these two coins. First up to bat, we've got XCUR or Curate. And more or less, this thing's put in a giant double bottom where it between 70 to 80 cents, bounced, twice back here, or, one giant bounce, right? Boom. And then recently it's bounced from that same area. So obviously that's its strongest area of support is around 80 cents. But what we're looking for now is it's at this zone of resistance where it was previously support. Right now it's acting as resistance, right? It's also kind of where it broke out previously and went on a pretty big run. So what we're looking for as an aggressive entry would be the break and retest of around $1.40 to $1.45. And then you could ride that up to where its bigger resistance is around $2. That's where the point of control is. You can see the VPR sticks out the most there. So if you enter this coin, you'd want to plan on taking profits or at least shaving off some profits somewhere between about $1.85 and $1.95, right? Just to kind of make sure you get your sell order in. Because the bigger move of this, if it happens, will be when it breaks and retests $2 and heads up, because that's also this bigger falling wedge pattern, break, retest, this big falling wedge. Now, as far as pullback entry ideas, which is what I'm also looking for, or mainly what I'm focused on, just in case Bitcoin has a hiccup, like we discussed at the beginning of the video, would be anything between so obviously your best entries are going to be down here at about $1, but I would start DCing in probably at $1.30, maybe even a bigger entry at $1.15. Now, not financial advice, but that's what I'll be looking for. And then at that point, you can ride it back up either to where it's at now and start shaving off some profits, or once again, just start focusing kind of on that $1.85 to $1.95 range. And then we'll hop over quickly to SOL. Now, SOL I haven't actually charted super well, so we'll probably do another update tomorrow where I'll dive into it a little bit deeper. I just kind of quickly threw this together. I could see obviously that's kind of got this trend line that was resistance here once, twice, 3 times, and so it's trying to peek its head above that. But we're going to focus more on the price levels on this one now, and the moving averages. It does have the golden cross on the we're on the 4-hour chart that just happened recently with the 50 simple going above the, which is the yellow, is the 200 simple, right? And it's also broken above the 200 on the 4-hour EMA. So the exponential moving average. So what I'd be looking for at this point is a retest of those moving averages for entry back down here around $1.25. And if you can get down to $1.20, that'd be a good entry. Basically, this zone right here that was support, lost it briefly here, but it's been resistance kind of this entire rounded bottom it was making. That would be a good entry. Otherwise, what you're looking for is a breakout of this with a confirmed candle close on the 4-hour, and then maybe a retest at around $1.35. And you should be able to ride that up. Where I'll be looking to take profits is this next zone up here that's kind of been resistance in the past. You can also see this sticks out. So probably around $1.60 be a spot you could take some profits. If you wanted to midterm hold this thing, I would say that this, on the 4-hour at least, this is the point of control. It also sticks out the most on the VPVR, probably $2. Kind of similar to Curate. They both have similar prices right now, and so they're kind of easy to trade together. And I'd be treating it the same way I did XCUR, where I'd be shaving off my profits, or maybe even taking all my profits between about $1, $90 and just under $2. And that is all for today. If you guys are liking the content, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. Comments are always welcome as well. Let me know if I'm looking like I'm a little bit slow in the head or if I'm doing a good job. At any rate, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's TA.